Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. We are pleased to be here with the Executive Marketing Director of the Shoshone-Bannock Casino and Hotel, Cesilio Silveira. How you doing today?
Good. How are you, Spencer?
Good. Now, if anyone that's traveling within, the Southeast Idaho region, you probably see billboards for the Shoshone-Bannock Casino and Hotel, different events going on. They're always throwing concerts. They're always doing something crazy out there that brings in the crowds and it obviously adds value to the community. So it's crazy in a good way, obviously. So this is the guy responsible for the vast majority of all that kind of stuff. So we're happy to get a little bit of his time today to come talk about marketing and all the fun stuff. So now you've been over here at this position for close to 3 years now, right?
Yeah. Yep. So 3.5, working on my 4th year as the Properties Marketing Director. So.
Very cool. Well, awesome, man. What kind of brought you into the marketing aspect of what you're doing?
So that's actually a funny story. I have never thought I would be in the marketing area of the property, nor marketing in general. When I first started, I started in gaming management, casino shift manager. From there, I went into the ABL world, handling concerts, dealing with the artists, the technical aspects. And then when this position opened up, Ray was asking if I was interested. He thought I would be a good candidate for it. And I was like, it's something I haven't done yet, something I haven't tried. I'd love to see the details on how this stuff works. And I jumped into the role. And it's growing and it's never changing. And there's never a dull moment in marketing, especially when it relates to gaming or entertainment. The industry is always moving. It's like jumped on a moving train that doesn't stop, that's for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys have you have interesting little oasis out there because you have something that really attracts people with the gaming, and then you bring in these great acts. Like right now, you have Kane Brown that's signed up to come in. Is it this month or next month?
So he'll be here August 21st.
Yeah, that's a huge act. I just find this super interesting. When it comes to the gaming side of things, and you're attracting people with concerts, you're bringing them, and you're gaming, and you're doing all of it really. You're adding value to the community, bringing acts in. We're starved for in this community. We're starved for entertainment,
Right.
And there's not a lot of that going on around this area. And then you're also able to bring clients and customers into the casino, which I think is awesome. That's what you're there for. You're there to bring the revenue in. So how does these concerts, is there some great correlation into people coming to these concerts to coming into the casino?
Right. So when it comes to the concert, so we don't like to focus just strictly on gaming or the stuff. I mean, we are a gaming destination first and foremost. But when we do our entertainment, so when we first stepped into the outdoor world for the outdoor concerts, one of our biggest pushes, and we're always happy to continue this, is we have some of the cheapest ticket prices in the area.
It's true.
We want to make sure people, when they come enjoy a show with us, we want to make sure they can afford it. It's not going to break the bank. We feel that the more people that can enjoy the show, the more people that comes out, the better experience they have. The more people are actually going to come and enjoy their stay with us, even if it's just for the concert and they don't go to the gaming outlets.
Yeah.
We also like to try to support the local communities when it comes to our concerts, which is why we bring in the food vendors, just so we can help support our local economy a little bit. And the beautiful thing is when we do bring in these concerts, we outsource quite a bit of our needs and our equipment to local vendors. That's been one of our biggest pushes, at least when I stepped into this role, was the push to utilize local vendors in the area. So I'm not sending money to
Fantastic.
California, Utah, too far out in the area. If we have someone local that can help us with the services we need, then we try to bring them in local. Um,
It's fantastic.
and if they come and play on the casino floor, that's great.
Oh yeah, that's all the power to them. Cool. Well, that's great. I love it. I've been out there for a handful of different acts, and it's been fun. It's been a fun experience out there. So, well, let's get into what's maybe the favorite thing that you enjoy about your position out there right now.
I love that I get to interact with a bunch of different people daily. One of the biggest perks for working for an operation like this is there is never a repeat day. Every time I come to work, it's something new. There's something exciting. There's something different. This industry is always moving. It's always growing. Whether it be the entertainment aspect with the acts, or trying to figure out what's the next big thing in the industry to bring people out to the properties. Also, when we get to do our conferences down like in Las Vegas or different areas, when we talk about what's coming up, what's big, what's popular. And one of the most exciting things that I found right now is we're in the middle of a shift change between who our clientele is. It used to be an older demographic, and now we're starting to see that shift finally, which scares me because it means I'm getting up there in age. But we're starting to see the different generations coming up and how they're interacting. The older generation was mostly they want to come, they want to do their own thing. They don't want to be bugged. They don't like listening to people give spiels. And now you're getting into the more of the crowd interaction. If there's not a big crowd interaction, then they don't feel as excited, and it's older and it's boring. And so that's been one of the bigger changes that we're trying to focus on and how we can keep appealing to people. One of the big events we started when I started this position was our New Year's Eve event, which we officially claimed the biggest party in southeastern Idaho. Which for the past 2 years we have had record attendance, people coming out with free concerts, promotions going on all night, and very minimal requirements for people to come out. And if they wanted to try to play and win, very minimal requirements for them to play in the promotions. If they're not big gamblers, that's fine. We have the dance hall, we have an after hours party, we have the free concert, we have the fireworks show that we blast off right before the party starts. So
That's
we
awesome.
try to entangle a wide variety of people.
I love it. But you said something that really interests me there about, the changing of demographics, the changing of, the a newer crowd coming in and learning their behavior and how to market to their behavior. What would you say to those people? Obviously, a lot of people are listening now. They're, business leaders, they're marketing, and they're business owners. That maybe they've subscribed to the old movie of Joe Dirt when they walk up and they see they're only selling snakes and sparklers at a stand, and that's all he sells. What if they've only just done one way of marketing their entire career or the entire time they've owned their business? What would you say about that?
The biggest thing for that, with especially with people who don't, and there's a lot of businesses who don't even touch advertising or marketing for their business. A lot of businesses nowadays, and this is still true to today, is it's based off what people come, what they experience, did they have fun? It's all on that. What is it? Just word of mouth. It really is word of mouth nowadays, especially with the younger generation. And this has always been a challenge: is how do you target this younger generation, especially the generation now that they're starting to get into the disposable income, where is so many platforms. For example, radio. People don't really listen to radio nowadays, and the younger generations are either on their iPhone with a playlist or on Spotify. Even Sirius XM satellite radio is starting to drop. People don't really pay for that subscription anymore because they have their phones and they can play their own playlist. Now, when they have their own playlist, our radio ads are now obsolete to a certain point. And then people bring up that you could do a target with a digital ad. That's true to a point until they pay for the ad-free subscriptions, which is TV and everything. So that gets back to your traditional basis of word of mouth marketing, where if someone came and experienced it and they had a lot of fun, they're going to tell their friends. and hopefully their friends come and check it out, and they're going to tell their friends and grow. That's probably one of the easiest ways for businesses to start growing, especially reaching the younger demographics where they're paying to skip all these ads and experiences. And that's
Mhm.
been one of the biggest challenges to face. And it even gets hard with the billboards. You talk, and there was a recent survey sent out. Majority of your younger generation don't even pay attention to billboards. They're on their phones when they're driving.
Oh my goodness.
And so billboards, they'll pass them, and you're lucky if they see a billboard. 9 out of 10 times they'll drive past the billboard and not even realize they passed the billboard.
Oh, that's a scary stat right there. Yeah, that's terrifying. Yeah, that's super interesting though, because I notice billboards. I mean, I guess I'm getting older too, but I know Kent Orem, the previous CEO of ICCU. He had a lot of good things to say about billboards. He felt like that was a huge contributor for the growth of ICCU.
Right.
And honestly, for me, I'm like, that's where I get to see all the different acts. Yeah, you see it on social media and all that kind of stuff too, but you're just like, it's so nice to be able to just see them pop up right there. But I guess I'm not always on my phone in the car
Right.
and missing all the stuff like these other generations that are doing. But yeah, with social media and them being out there at concerts and taking pictures, yeah, that's good advertising for you guys.
Oh yeah. In ICCU, they're doing amazing with their marketing strategy when they go out to these events, and I'm guaranteed majority of their younger generation or clientels, if it's not through their family or older parents who've started with ICCUs, probably hearing them from these different events because you see them everywhere. And the traditional trade tables of just showing up, setting up with your banner, and then handing out flyers is dead. Nobody wants to go to a board trade table anymore. I mean, it has to be interactive. You have to have some type of games, promo items, hand out the free stuff, and people love that.
Yep. That was our last episode is all about event marketing, how to do event marketing right, and yeah, I because you've seen it done so many times the wrong way, and you're just like, yeah, as someone who's just been a guest at these events or someone who's had tables there, you're just like, wow, I've seen some good and the bad and the ugly, but why waste money and go out there and just be like, hey, all I've got is snakes and sparklers here, and I've
Yep.
got and I've got two people that don't like to talk to anyone. So yeah, good job on putting those people out there. So we talked a lot about that last episode. So that's interesting that you bring that up. So that's great. Well, cool. What's maybe the biggest frustration you have to deal with when it comes to marketing?
Biggest frustration would probably be when people expect a so when people think of marketing, our goal is to bring the business to your company. That's your number one goal to start making your just so you start seeing your revenue chime in. Just because you go out and you have 80,000 impressions, but only say 2,000 of those people actually clicked, it doesn't mean that's going to generate your revenue. There's some campaigns that businesses will launch, and all it is just to get your brand out there, just to make sure people know that you're here, you exist, we have things going on. It's not necessarily always about your click-through rates or how much you're going to be making off these. The majority of the times, and it gets frustrating, especially when it gets up to like CFOs. They're like, "Well, you're spending that, but we didn't make anything off it." True, but it's letting the company know or letting the community know that we're here. We have options, which a lot of digital advertisements like that. Uh, and it gets hard, especially for gaming, because your restrictions on advertising are very heavy. There's only so much you can push on related to gaming, which is why we started pushing heavier on the hotel or food and beverage outlets. We also try to push more in entertainment because those ones are a little easier to target with people and they're more relatable uh, versus, hey, do you want to come and jump on this machine?
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good information. It's always good to hear all the different ins and outs of everyone's industry and how you market and all that kind of stuff for what you guys are up to over there. So, well, let's get into the lightning round real quick, and let's got these three questions. And before I get into that, I always forget to introduce our sponsors for all these episodes. But we're sponsored by Health West, great organization. They are all throughout the different communities in Idaho. Google them where you are closest to them and see what they can do for you and your family. We're also sponsored by our company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. So if you need any janitorial needs, give us a call at 208-254-7070. And if you say that you heard about us on the podcast, we'll give you for your first office sterilization for free. Okay. Let's go on to these three last questions here. Is there a favorite book or like a tool that you're using right now or software that's kind of been a game changer for you?
And people talk about this all the time. I really love using my task managers.
Okay.
Microsoft Teams has one. I used to use Monday.com. We just switching the company over to Asana. That's been probably one of the biggest game changers I have used, especially managing a team of up to 30 employees. It makes life easier for me. So when I have a task going out, I can just track everything on that, and I'm not sending text messages or emails trying to follow up on these projects. That's been one of the biggest game changers.
That's fantastic. We're actually just onboarding Asana as well. So we're just trying to get that up and running. So that's good. Good to hear that. Okay. What's the biggest myth that maybe business owners and business leaders need to know the truth about? Maybe you can kind of give it from your perspective of marketing even.
Okay. My personal opinion, one of the biggest myths, and it's people can go either way with this one, is you got to spend money to make money, which I feel is false. You got to make sure your product's worth talking about in order to make money. Once your product's good, it'll speak for itself.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. You can spend as much money as you want, but if you have an absolute dog crap, product,
it ain't gonna do anything.
Yeah, you might get the initial sell, but after that, you're not going to have anything follow up. So,
right.
Good. I like that advice. Good. Okay, one last question here. What's one question I should have asked that I didn't?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's like the worst question to ask.
And if there's not, there's not. It's not a big deal.
One of the questions I always wish that would come up anytime we do, anytime we talk to people is, what's one big marketing tactic that companies use that really benefit the companies? And in my opinion, all that is community outreach and how much you give back to the community. The more you show the community the support, if it's even volunteering at events, sponsoring events, or even donating stuff for their events, I feel like is a big marketing tactic for businesses because it just shows that you're here for your community and you support your community.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's huge. It's very good. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show with us today. It's meant a lot to us.
Yeah, no problem. Always happy to jump on a call.
Yeah. And if anyone, obviously people are thinking, you just said something about Kane Brown, you said all this cool stuff that's going on out there. What's the best way to get on there and find tickets and find information about hotels and gaming, all the fun stuff? What's the best way to reach?
So best way to get any information for the property is to go to our website. So it's showbandgaming.com. We have the tabs linked on there. So whether you want to do the hotel, if you want to come in for gaming, if you want to come in for the entertainment, everything on the website is listed, as well as the promotion, specials going on, events, ticket pricing, which we do with our entertainment. One of the reasons we're able to offer such low ticket prices is we actually control our entire ticketing system. And that's through Yapsity, a company called Yapsity. And they give us the ability to go ahead and handle all our ticketing issuance. So the fees and everything that other companies have to pay, like with e-tix or whatever, we don't have that. We give you straight the tickets. We control it. We control the prices, which is one reason why we're able to keep those ticket prices so low, which has been great.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. What other venues? I know we're getting close to the end of the time now, but now you got me interested. Why do so many other venues use like Ticketmaster and all those other places instead of something like this?
It's so before when people first started doing tickets and everything, they didn't have the capability to do it themselves. Like if you did Ticketmaster or eTix, they have a whole campaign behind it where they will issue the tickets, but they also do their own advertising to get ticket sales. But they get to pick their fees, and that's where that goes up and down. And they have all kinds of other things. Yap City is more of a specialty-based program where they only take on so many clients. So if they try to jump on, they're a very smaller company versus eTex and those guys, which I love because we're able to control everything on our side. But it honestly mind boggles me why more companies don't try that or go that route themselves. I've never really understood that.
Interesting. Well, no, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And I appreciate all your words of wisdom today. So, okay. Well, thank you. And as we always say, it was to our listeners, we always say, be happy, be grateful, and find opportunities to serve others while you're out there because, life's too short.
Love it.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it and have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.